Good afternoon, good evening, Facebook friends and family. This is Ashley. I'm posting on God Saving Grace. Um, I want to talk about a serious issue today. Yes, domestic violence is the major topic, but a lot of things are under the umbrella of domestic violence. You have physical abuse, sexual abuse, um, financial stability. You have social and emotional problems. And one of the things I want to hit on is sexual assaults and sexual abuse. So we have this whole uproar right now talking about victims who's been sexually assaulted in the past and present by anybody, somebody famous, somebody who isn't famous. Sexual assault is an underlying issue for low self-esteem, uh, domestic violence, abuse, drugs, all those things come from being sexually assaulted. And nobody talks about being sexually assaulted, being molested, or being raped. Not even as a child and into adulthood, we face many of these problems where we jump into different relationships because that person loves us. We jump into different relationships because that person has total control over us. And me, yes, I've been in a place where I have been sexually assaulted. I've been in a place where I have been molested. And these are the things that people don't talk about. And these are the issues that bring low self esteem. So there are a lot of females and males, because males can be sexually assaulted, but there are many people who are dealing with this behavior of the past and some of the present, where they can't hold steady jobs, they are unstable mentally, they're seeing different psychiatrists and different therapists and taking medication to hide the pain instead of bringing it to the forefront to actually talk about it. Um, there was a saying back in the day: whatever happens in this family stays in the family. Now, there are a lot of myths to that, and I'm one that if anything has happened that is going to affect you in the long run, it should be spoke about. It should be brought to the forefront. It should be addressed. So now we're in a society where we are blaming people. We are blaming people for the abuse, but let's talk about the things that we don't normally bring to the forefront. Like, okay, I can, before I would never be able to bring this out to the open, I was a victim of sexual assault. I have been molested. And we've never talked about this. So, me being who I was, I'm not the type of person who like to talk about things. I'm not like a type of person who express themselves. So, I hid it. I hid it. And me hiding it and not being able to talk about it caused me to have low self esteem. It also caused me to be connected to people in relationships who had that same control over me. So here I am in different relationships thinking that the reason why I love this person or the reason why I'm with this person is because they want to be with me, not knowing that the reason why I'm with this person is because they see that I am easily, I'm easy controlled. I can be easily controlled because for a while I was that type of person. I was the type of person who I'm a giver. I am, and I was one of those type of people who had their heart on their sleeve. And the reason why I had my heart on my sleeve because I didn't know what love was. I didn't know what love was. I didn't know how to manage not being love or manage not knowing what love was about. So I thought I'd find it in different relationships. Different relationship, being in different relationships and not knowing how to love yourself is very damaging. We as young females, myself included, we believe that a lot of lust is attached to love. So we seek these relationships and we're like, okay, I think he likes me because, he thinks I'm pretty. I think he likes me because we have sex. I'm going to say it plain out in the open, because sex and intimacy is two different things. And once the feeling of sex is over, there's nothing else to talk about. So this person goes away after you have given a part of you. This person goes away and goes to somebody else. So now you're left with this pattern of feeling broken. You've given up yourself to sometimes it's a complete stranger, and then you left with a void. So we are trying to do better in 2019. We are trying to teach people that it's okay to speak up. It's okay to talk about it, even if you have to write it down. I know most of my struggles was, I had people to talk to, but when you have people to talk to and they still don't believe what has happened, or they blame you, or they consider it the problem being your fault, then I was type I shut down completely. So I started writing music, I started writing poetry, and that kind of helped me be in a place where, okay, now I know that I can help somebody else. Now that this is no longer in me or no longer buried inside, I can now help somebody else. And that's the great thing about going through stuff, because now you have the experience to where you can tell somebody else, okay, yes, this is hard, but we are going to get through this. Yes, this is something that nobody talks about, nobody want to touch the surface about, but yes, we can get through this because I too was there. I too was able to overcome the things that has happened to me. So now, starting over, because I do have daughters, I have sons, so I never want to be the one to hear my child say, this happened to me and I wasn't able to tell you. This happened to me, and when I told you, you didn't believe me. I never want to be that type of parent. So now we have to teach our young daughters and sons that, firstly, they have to be loved by their parents. They have to feel loved by their parents. The environment around them has a lot to do with how you grow up and how you see yourself and how you love yourself. So I was one who, I grew up in foster care. So each household was different. So some were stricter than others. Some, didn't show me that love. Some were just in it for the money, pretty much. And we never want to be that type of society where we can't focus on the good of the child. We can't focus on building our children up. We say they're our future, but we don't put as much time and effort into their lives and into their being and into their education for them to be our future. So now we have to teach our children that I love you, you should love you, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're kind. Because if our children hear it at home, there's no way anybody else on the outside can tell them something and they'll fall for it, because they already heard it all their lives. So now we are now trying to, because this is a team effort. It takes a village to raise a child. Yes, it does. But in that same instant, know who you can trust around your children, and know who you can't trust around your children. So now we're teaching, okay, love yourself. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're strong. And once we teach our children that, they don't have to hear it from nobody else, especially our young ladies who are hearing it from these boys and these older men, and they think like, oh, okay, he loves me, so let me go and do this. Oh, she loves me, let me go and do that. All the while digging ourselves in the deeper hole of isolation and hopelessness and suicide, because you can't love somebody if you do not love yourself. You can't mentally and emotionally love somebody without loving yourself, because then you allow them to treat you any certain type of way. You decide they do things to you that you don't like. So now you have no boundaries. So now you're in a place where we're like, okay, binds, we're creating binds and things to hold us up because we have no boundaries. So we didn't come into the relationship saying, okay, you're not going to do this. I don't tolerate this, or this. So a lot of us, we put ourselves in position to where we tolerate things because we have no boundaries. Boundaries are very important. Boundaries tell a person, okay, do not cross this line. Now, if you cross this line, then that means this relationship has to end. So we need to set boundaries. We need to not only set boundaries, but build each other up. Everybody needs a little encouragement every now and then. Even sometimes, even there are days I need encouragement. So you know what? I can do this. I can do this. I got this. The best advice is not everybody's going to encourage you. Not everybody's going to hold your hand. Not everybody's going to pray for you. You have to do those things for yourself. Um, Again, there are many parts of domestic violence. Domestic violence is an umbrella. There are different issues that line up against it, and we're trying to stop the hurt. We're trying to stop the pain. We're trying to put an end to these things. So encourage yourself, learn how to love yourself, continue to teach our children that they are beautiful so they don't have to hear it anywhere else. Continue to love on them, continue to support them in everything they do, because a lot of us, we wasn't there. We didn't get that love, we didn't get that support. And most of us battle with these things in our mind, in our heart. We're unable to form positive relationships. We are unable to move forward because the seed of destruction was planted in us. Thank you and good night.